I told my mom, we joined cultural dance, so they said we should bring a blouse and a wrapper. My mom said, what did you say? Hey, God. In this house, we don't do that, we don't do cultural dance. I was like, well, nothing is in cultural, it's just normal song now. It's not those, show me your bum bum, show me your bum bum. It's not that kind of song we are going to dance. It's normal cultural dance, maybe God of heaven, just, you know, now those kind of.
Welcome to Let's Talk Tuesday, where we delve deeper into life's biggest questions and exploring practical solutions. I'm your host, Godstime Iganah, the global philosopher nurse. On this episode, we are talking about the secret life of a pastor's child, and I'm thrilled to share this interesting conversation with the only talented 𝗡𝗂𝗿𝗀. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to Miss 𝗡𝗂𝗿𝗀. We are honored to have you on the show. Great to meet.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, that's so sweet. Welcome.
Welcome to Let's Talk Tuesday with Godstime Iganah, the global philosopher nurse, a movement that's all about igniting meaningful conversations, exploring life's big questions, and inspiring each other to live our best lives. Let's talk, let's grow, and let's ignite meaningful conversations together.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tuesday with the global philosopher nurse. Like I said earlier, on this episode, we are talking about the secret life of a pastor's child. Now, the pastor's child in this context is just like a case study. Okay, under this topic, we are going to be exploring the life of a Christian child. If, for example, your father is a child of God, I'm not just talking about those ones that claim to be children of God, but in the real sense they are not. Nobody knows them. I'm talking about those ones that are well known in the society as Christians or children of God. Growing up as a pastor's child is one experience I love tagging a bittersweet experience. Yeah, this is because being a pastor's child can be a great blessing. It can also be a huge burden. Yeah, very huge burden. A burden of responsibility, a burden of expectations, a burden of secrecy. You know, when you're a pastor's child, everybody expects you to be perfect. No mistake at all. Okay, so even when somebody is hurting you, they expect you not to say a word. Someone is stepping on your toes, they expect you not to utter any single word. Why? Because you're a pastor's child. Okay, so you're meant to behave like someone that does not have sense. Yeah, I don't want to use the other word, so Facebook will not start right? So sometimes they expect you to, so imagine you going out to do something now, let's say to preach. They expect that you are coming out, everybody should start falling under the anointing of God. Or as you're coming out, they are expecting to see an angel in human form. So what they fail to realize is that pastors' children are also humans with flesh and blood.
Yeah.
So we have blood running through our veins. So if you can make a mistake as a human being, I too can also make a mistake, even though I'm a pastor's child. Okay, so before I go further, of course I have a guest here with me. There is 𝗡𝗂𝗿𝗀. Can you share with us what your experience was like growing up as a pastor's child? Sorry, she's also a pastor's child. Yeah, I'm a pastor's child too, so yeah. Okay, can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for that question.
Okay.
Being a pastor's child is a very sweet experience.
You can say that.
Yeah, and we have so much challenges, so much obstacles on the way. But it's actually sweet. It's a sweet experience. I'm so much happy and privileged to be a pastor's child. Anywhere I go, I always say it. Because even in the Bible, you know, pastors' children came from tribe of Levi.
Levites.
They are called Levites. Yeah. And these persons in the Bible, they are the people that God usually assign things to. They carry out God's instructions, in the temple. The first people that will always carry out God's instruction is the Levites. Most of the times, God specifically instructs them to do things. So even in this our world, even in the house of God, in the church, as a child of God, you're expected to be at the front. So it's a great privilege, and a great experience. And as my sister tags it, bittersweet. There are times you will feel like, this pastor's child something is overwhelming.
Yeah, sure.
And there are times you just be happy, you'll be flowing with it, like everybody surrounding you, giving you happiness. So that's how it is. So while growing up, I have a very strict father. So sometimes you'll be like, I'm not sure is this man that gave birth to me. People should tell me the truth. Let me look for my father. Sometimes you'll be like, let me just die. What kind of a life is this? No life of no party, no outing, like what other people are just doing easily. You cannot dare. You cannot dare. It's as if we are being restricted, but all those things shaping my life, they made me who I am today. Most of the things I'm doing today is because of the training I got from a strict father. In my SS3, I was about writing exams. So I had this book that I've not finished reading. So one of my friends, my classmates, not really a friend, just say, help me with this book, I'll return it so time. I said, okay. She did not bring it the time she said she would be bringing it, and me, I want to read it. I've not even finished mine. I don't know why I gave her the book, I can't really remember book. So I told my dad, I want to go and get my book. He was like, why will you give your book to such a person that is not trustworthy? The person, and you call the person a friend. I said, no, it's not my friend, no, it's just a classmate. You call the person your friend, somebody that is not trustworthy, somebody that will say, I'm coming to borrow, I will not come. So those are the kind of friends you make. I said, I apologized and said, let me go and get my book so that we'll finish up reading the book. So I'll be able to write my exams. He permitted me and he told me, my brother will be coming to the house, make sure you come back early. Reaching to the girl's house, she was not home. I told the sister was like, wait a little so that she will be back. I was now waiting, and me, I cannot go back to the house.
Without the book.
What will you tell my father now? So I was like, okay, let me just wait a little more 10 minutes so that she will be back, so that I'll have evidence that truly I went. It's not as if they don't trust us, but they want to see that you said you're going to get the book. Okay, you went to get the book. So I waited though. Even me, I didn't even know that I've spent so much time waiting. So reaching to my house with the book, anyways, I saw my uncle. My uncle too is a pastor, same church. So he said, since I came, your dad said you went to collect the book. Where is the book? I showed him. I showed him the book. Before you know it, I prepared everything before leaving the house, and he has finished eating. I even told my other brother, he was the one who, please, if they finish eating, help me and return the plate to the kitchen. Everything was set, but this man just wants to magnify this issue. Said, if it is me, I cannot take this excuse. Why will she go to
That's his uncle.
That's my uncle.
I have one like that.
Why will she step out? Why she know I'll be coming to the house? She stepped out and she spent this kind of time. Uncle, we've met now. I'm okay. You are here and I'm here. What are we talking about? You've eaten. I don't know what you want from me. You understand? So this man put fire out till my dad had to flog me. For what? For stepping out.
And he was not relaxed.
He was not happy. So then I was like, what kind of a man is this and all of that. It was sometimes, we say, a terrible experience. Like, something that your mate will just do freely and easily, your own will be. So back then in secondary school, I loved dancing. So there was a time had it's not social gathering, I think it's end of year, so we were preparing for dance. I saw people dancing. I said, I would love to join. I can do this step, I can do this. So I joined. We rehearsed, and going to the house, I told my mom, we joined cultural dance, so they said we should bring a blouse and a wrapper. My mom said, what did you say? Hey God, in this house we don't do that. We don't do cultural dance. I was like, well, nothing is in cultural, it's just normal song now. It's not those show me your bum bum, show me your bum bum. It's not that kind of song we are going to dance. It's normal cultural dance, maybe God of heaven, God of heaven. Just, you know, now those kind of, they are not mentioning anything devil in it. We are covering, I was explaining, we are covering ourselves, but we are even tying wrapper. Mommy is waist dance, so we are not shaking bum bum or anything. My mommy said, I have told you we don't dance that kind of dance in this house, so you are not going to dance. I think it was me and my younger sister. So I went back to school the next day. I told my senior then and one other teacher that was directing us. I told them, my mom said I cannot join. They said, why? Nothing is there. We are not doing any bad thing. It's just normal dance. Something is there. Don't worry. Okay, she not give you the clothes. We will provide it. Don't worry, you will dance. Me now, as a little growing up child that time, I said, okay, my mom said we not know, just to dance here now and go home. My people, we danced though. I didn't even know where this photographer came from. And he was our church member then. Hey. So my mind was not there. I saw a photographer sharp. But me, they only snap people that need picture. I mean, I don't need, so why would they snap me? Even if they snap me, they will not save it, they will not send it to me. So I didn't bother. Yeah. So my people, after dancing that day, I went home rejoicing. It wasn't up to 2 weeks. This man came home. I was there. Because I said my mom was making my hair, my younger sister's hair. The man brought that picture and said, hey, those your culture. Oh, the picture is so fine. Immediately mentioned cultural dance. Hey, my mind. Hey, problem. My mom is saying, what? Let me see the picture. She collected it. She said, I don't even need the picture. I don't care. I don't know. Whatever you want to do with the picture. I just looked at the man. The man just saw that the environment has changed.
Yeah.
So he left. That day, my mom flogged us. Said anything that is not permitted in this house, do not do it. Even if it is not written in the Bible as a sin, do not do it. So being a pastor's child is not an easy one. Okay, there are times you'll be happy, but there are some bitter experience like this one I shared. You will not associate, you will not go out when you want, plenty restrictions, and all of that. But it's still good. They taught me a lot, and they've groomed me. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for that wonderful. When you were sharing those stories, I felt like you were sharing my story. Are you sure my dad is not your dad? I mean, they are too, because the experiences are just so similar. I remember growing up too, no association. In fact, there is no way you'd come to my house to come and tell my dad, you're looking for me, for my sister. First of all, who are you? Where are you from? Who raised you? Who born you? Who groomed you? So you explain all of those.
Wherever you are, my dad will even ask you, are you a born again? Yes. What is born again?
No, my own dad will ask you, are you a born? His own is, are you a child of God? How do you know that? It's very easy to say, yes, I'm a child of God. How do you know that you're a child of God? By the time you start doing this man, very strict. I could recall one experience I had those days. I was just with a boy. Yeah, I was just talking. I didn't know my dad was coming. A boy, outside, not inside. We're not doing anything. So my dad, I didn't know he sighted me from far. But now as the boy turned and saw him, I was wondering, hey, come, what's up? Where are you going to? So my dad started flogging me. From that place, he was flogging me. In fact, almost a month, I couldn't follow that route again because the disgrace. And when I got back home, I was like, is this man really my father? Sometimes I would just sleep and pray, God, let me just let me not wake up again so it will pain him. Let me see if he will cry. And if he cries, it was so painful. Like, you will not associate with people, you will not mingle with people, you cannot even dress anyhow to my house. Do you know that at a point, some people that really wanted mingling with us started coming to my church. Yeah, because if you're my church member, obviously you're a child of God to an extent. So somehow you can come to my house, but then do you know one funny thing? I don't even know if it's my dad's prayer or my mom's prayers, because they will come to church and they will not be able to tell us those dirty things in their mind, because they will end up getting converted and start serving God faithfully. So not always easy. And I think I also had another experience. Yeah, there was a time I went to church. I made one very fine hair, so I just wanted to showcase it a little, not all. I just removed one, something like this. I removed it, and I got to the church. My dad was on pulpit. He called me to come up. What? Why did you come here? I will say, this is English you normally speak. I know if Daniela can see this video, she will laugh very hard. He used to speak this English, free English. You cannot be wayward, lukewarm, and uncooked in my house. So he sent me back to the house to go and change. He was trying to use me as an example, right? Go back to the house and change and cover your hair properly. So I went back home and I felt so bad. I was like, how is this? Why is this man doing this thing to? What kind of, you know, when very fine girl now with so many crutches, somehow, you know, some people are looking at.
Yes, no.
I felt so bad. I went home. I was just so crying, and I didn't know when I slept off. I didn't go back to the church. When I woke up, it was almost 1 o'clock. Just when I was trying to dress up to run back, my sister was like, what have you done? She wanted to leave the church, and my dad said, if you dare move, if you move, I move you. So she sat back. Before my dad came back, I just surrendered. I surrendered. I was explaining when I came, the other one did, the other one did. He looked at me and was like, if I touch you, he just left me for the first time, and I'm like, the thing is, like she already said, most of these experiences shaped us and made us who we are today. I remember those days in school, even when my parents weren't there, I was this person that's always comporting. Looking at me, the way I dress, the way I did, they would know that I'm actually from a disciplined home. Yeah. So sometimes my colleagues will be like, your dad is not even here, and you're behaving as if your parents are here and they will beat you. So, and somehow I just found, like she said something too, we are the Levites. Somehow there's this responsibility that is invested on you, and you would know that if there are certain things you would want to do, like people are looking up to me. I am coming from somewhere, and there are certain things I would love to do, but just because I wouldn't want people to criticize my parents, I would choose not to. So those things help me.
Yeah, they really help.
Yeah, even when I find myself in some places, I don't want to show up, but people will definitely. There's no way people will not know me. Somehow, you cannot be hidden.
You cannot be hidden.
Yeah,
especially.
So they will give you position even when you're not willing to. They will ask you, and do you know that somehow you can ask me to do something, I might be tensed somehow, but I will go out and do it, and you're wondering. You might hear me preaching, and you're like, how this quiet person?
You not just start today.
Yeah, you know, start today. And those days, like you know, devotion that you preach.
Yes, like in my house, we do 2 times devotion.
And you must preach.
You must preach. We have roster. If you come and stay with us, you will just. If you're not this strong type, you will leave.
Yeah.
My dad must include your name. You will learn how to preach. You will learn how to sing, do things. You know.
And there's this slogan in SU that my dad normally use: no Bible, no breakfast.
Wow.
No Bible, no breakfast. And it's not something like you now go and tell daddy or papa have read.
Yes.
Where did you read?
You explain.
What did you learn? What did God tell you?
Yes.
What did the Holy Spirit tell you? So all
those things really help.
Yeah, all these experiences. See, all these things you're seeing me doing online, it is not that I just started today. Like this one now, I'm looking at the camera. It started somewhere. So sometimes while growing up, you think these things our parents were doing, or the parents are doing to you. They hate you. They don't like you. They are really trying to groom you into that person you're meant to be. So being a pastor's child is a huge blessing. Yeah, I'm super proud to be a pastor's child. How about you?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay, so we have another question here. What's the most challenging part of being a pastor's child? What's the most challenging part of being a pastor's child?
My own personal challenge is fulfilling people's expectations. That's a challenge to me. Like, it's a very big problem to me. Like, how? I can't.
You can. You can do all things.
Like, I cannot. How can you? Normally, we know you cannot please everybody. Yeah, you cannot please everybody. That's how me. I cannot fulfill everybody's expectation because people expect you to be 100% perfect. People expect you to be flawless, spotless. like as you come out, people should start falling under anointing. People expect you to be assistant Jesus. Like everything Jesus can do, you too should be able to do it, you know. But it's not like that. It's not possible. So that's the challenge.
For me, the most difficult challenge of being a pastor's child is this feeling of being under a microscope. You know what that means? More like someone is viewing you through the CCTV camera. It's so clear. Nothing is hidden. Every word you say, every action you take, every step you make must be judged and scrutinized. Okay, sometimes as a pastor's child, I have this feeling that I'm caught in between two worlds. On the one hand, I find myself in a faith-driven home where I'm being loved and cherished. They teach me what I'm meant to know. They care for me. They carry me along. They beat me when I go wrong. And on the other hand, I feel like I'm under the pressure to meet up with certain expectations and standards. You expect me to fulfill what's in your mind.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to walk in a certain way. I'm not supposed to, like if the pastor is preaching in church, even when I'm very tired, you know, sometimes in the parsonage and some pastors, we always, all the scripture union, TA, traveling secretaries, when they are coming to London, most times they lodge at my place, and members that come with them for the talk will stay with us. So we'll cook, we'll do everything, we'll save them. So now you're not expecting when I come to the church, I'm not supposed to be tired. I'm not supposed to squeeze my
step in late to Sunday school. They wouldn't want to know. All eyes will be on you. They'll be like, why is this pastor's child? Like, they'll just make that name so pronounced.
They will magnify it.
Coming to church by this time. Why? They will not want to know why.
Sometimes they will not really want to know why. They're like, look at when pastor's child is coming to church.
They'll just
so they don't care about the stress. And imagine some other people just come to the house anytime, and then you're asking them, what water would you want to drink? They will not say cold water. Yeah. You know you're coming late, so you now get up and start boiling water and everything. Before you're done, it's almost 2 o'clock. By 3, we are supposed to be up to help my mom to fry akara those days. Yeah, and the stress, you go to church. I don't have any issues going to church to do all those things. But when people are like, you know, you're like under a microscope.
Yes,
you're doing this. You're not supposed to do the other one. You're supposed to do this one. And how would I know what's in your mind? And how am I supposed to fulfill? You cannot. And you know one thing, most of these people, they are children. It's not like they are better.
Yeah.
But they just feel like, do you understand? So that's, for me, that's the most challenging part of being a pastor's child. Okay, I have another question here. What are some misconceptions of being a pastor's child? Misconceptions of being a pastor's child.
You're supposed to take over, you know. That's a misconception. When somebody tries to do something different from being pastor, it's not like you will not serve God or you will not do the right thing, or you not do follow your parents' footsteps. But it's not as if automatically you become a pastor. If you're a male, you become a pastor. Then if you're a female, pastor's wife.
Mama.
You know, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
If you start, maybe you're into music, you will not be. No, you're not supposed to. This is a pastor's child.
Content
creation, or you're into content creation, fashion. You know, there are these people that models clothes. They will now start looking at you somehow. Like if you're not into this spirit, gin, all those holy, let's pray, let's converse, all those things. Who will not be like, this one is not like the father. It's not supposed to be so. It's a misconception, seriously. It's not supposed to be so. We have our own interests, we have our own passion, we have other things to do. We need to explore. Doesn't mean you remain in the church, or most especially if you don't know how to play instrument as a pastor's child.
Don't know how to sing.
Don't know how to sing. Most especially the guys, the males. You don't know how to play instrument, you want to be in church. What are you doing? They will just finish your life. But you know, it's not everybody that will know how to play the instrument now. So that's a misconception.
Yeah, especially that ministry part. Let's take for example now someone like Daniela, my younger sister.
Okay.
She so much love fashion. So you now expect her to leave fashion. And then she's supposed to marry a pastor. Of course, the mom is a pastor's wife. Imagine how she got married to a politician. So you're not expecting, imagine she later got married to.
Yeah.
So just because you feel politics is a dirty game, what if that Christian. Okay, let me not even go far. That's the husband. Let's say, for example, the pastor's child, the male or female, is going into politics. They're like, a old pastor's child. Don't you know that politics is a dirty game? So what if God actually created it to be the detergent that will wash the dirt?
Exactly.
What
exactly.
if? So that my father is a pastor does not mean that I need to end up becoming a pastor or a pastor's wife.
Yeah.
So some people will see me doing content, they're like, you're doing content creation, a pastor's child? And I'm like, hey, see, the thing is, whether you're a fashion designer or I don't really need to become a pastor to preach Christ, okay? What I will tell people is just go into that aspect of life you want to, but then make sure you bless God through that. Make sure you impact. I can impact lives through fashion. What if somebody is coming to me like, where do you get all these ideas from? Like, it is the inspiration of God.
Yeah.
You'd want to know that God. I'm doing content creation. I just started today and I'm doing so well. You'd want to know the God behind the success. Do you understand? So I don't really need to go into ministry because my parents are there.
Yeah.
And I think another misconception is that they think pastors' children are immune to temptations and struggles. So as a pastor's child, you don't go through challenges, struggles, and you're not being tempted, of course, because of your background. But you know that in most cases, pastors' kids go through worse. Because because of your parents' public profile. Some persons will really even come to tempt you intentionally just to tarnish the image of your parents. On the other hand, you can't do the things you want to do freely. You can't live your normal life. Like I said, imagine you being under a microscope. You can't do so. Sometimes you get depressed. You're like, what kind of life am I living? Meanwhile, some other person is there doing whatever. I cannot stand feeling with a boy. Another person is having a boyfriend, doing the real dirty stuff. Imagine at my age now. Someone is asking me, you say that person is your partner? You mean you're in a relationship?
Yeah, you too. You're in a relationship.
You too
have a boyfriend.
And you know that sometimes they try to paint their dirty minds on you. Exactly. So because they do this and that, their relationship, they just feel like every other person does same. So sometimes, I'm a pastor's child does not mean that I am immune to temptations and struggles. Yeah. In fact, if I should open my mouth and tell you the things I'm going through, it will shock you. Let's not really go far because of our time. Okay, so I have another question here. How do you handle the pressure to conform to certain expectations or standards as a pastor's child?
How I handle mine is I communicate. When some things become overwhelming, when I don't know what's the next step to take, when I don't know what else to do, when people expect me to do some kind of things which they are somehow to me, I fall back to my parents and older ones in the ministry. Like in my church, we call them Levites, pastors' children. So I kind of ask questions. I communicate with them. I tell them, is this true? This is my experience. This is what I'm passing through. What would you advise? So I fall back to my parents and to other Levites, most especially the older ones. Then another one is I set boundaries for myself. I know my capability. I know what I'm able to do. I know my strengths, and my weakness. So I set boundaries. If I know that here no go area, I cannot. And another thing is that anything I can do better or anything I love doing that is not a sin, but people like dance it and think it's a sin or you're not supposed to because you're a pastor's child. Let's just take for instance these wet leaves on my lip. The very first time I started applying it, my dad was like, what is that on your lips? I'll be like, is it a sin? You apply cream, right? You use soap, right? It's not a big deal. Powder, right? My dad would just smile. But people will be like, what's that? You too, pastor's child. That kind of thing. Pastor's child. So if I'm doing something that to me is not a sin and my conscience is not judging me. No, there are some things people do that is not really a sin, but God will just tell them, or they will not feel comfortable in
Yeah.
it. That one is different. As far as I'm comfortable in it, it's not a sin. I'll do it very well so that everybody around me will know that this girl does this thing. I'm sorry, let me just use 𝗚𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗶 as an example.
Okay, yeah.
She does fashion things. She dresses the way that pleases
You know, they will not tell her you're not.
herself.
You know, they will always tell her you're not behaving like your mother.
She doesn't
care.
She doesn't care.
She doesn't give a damn.
She doesn't care.
Yeah.
You know, she's just herself. So if you're doing something after setting your boundaries, you know that this aligns with God's will and what I like, I will do it very well.
So from my own angle, I'm going to be talking about self-reflection. You know, there's a saying that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse of it is inevitable.
Yeah.
So you need to know who you are first. Why were you created? Your purpose, why were you created? Why are you here? You know, because when you don't know who you are, it is very possible for somebody else who does not know who you are to suggest to you who they think you are, and if proper care is not taken, you start living your life based on what they say. Exactly. It is meant to be like this. All pastors' children are meant to become pastors. What if God created you to become something else? Okay, what if everybody are pastors? Who will become teachers? Who will be doing business? Who will be sewing the clothes we are putting on? Who will be doing that? Okay, so you really need to sit down and reflect on yourself. Who am I? What are the things I can do very well? What are the things I love? Do you understand why did God create me? Like me now, I know that when it comes to just give me mic to motivate, I'm good. I don't really need to stand on the pulpit first.
Yeah.
My sister is very good at fashion. And how about you? You're very good at speaking too. So we don't really need to go to the church, stand on the pulpit first. I don't need to become a pastor's wife first before I can impact the world. So first of all, you need to know who you are. Okay? So that somebody that did not even create you will not come and start telling you who he or she think you are. You must start thinking. Another thing is, I would say you have to know God for yourself. I want to go to the point where if I'm not putting on earring, I know that I am not putting on earring not just because my church said I should not wear it, but because I have an encounter with God and He said I shouldn't. If I'm not wearing trousers, it should not be really because my church said. Even though I'm obeying what the church says, but it should not just be because of but because I have an encounter with God and He said I shouldn't. So if God said I should not do this one, okay, I should do this one, and you're coming to tell me that's wrong, I should be bold enough to tell you no, God told me to. But when you don't even know God, to do what everybody said you should do. So now I say you should reflect, I would say you should reflect on yourself and you should know your God for yourself. Don't know God as the God of my papa, the God of my mama. You should know God as the God of Godstime and the God of 𝗡𝘂𝗿𝗀. Okay, praise the Lord. Alright, okay, so the last question, the last question. What advice will you give to other pastors' kids who may be struggling with their identity? What advice? You know, we have a lot of people, a lot of pastors' children, and now not just pastors' children, to other Christians who are going through this. What advice will you give to them?
Exactly what you said. Know God for yourself.
Wow.
As a pastor's child, you grow up with Bible in your hands, prayers in your mouth, morning, afternoon, and night. Most of the time, it's not as if most of us are really repented, mostly at a tender age. So while growing up, you've seen that okay, all these things is like a routine. As you're grown now, you now decide for yourself that okay, this God that my parents have shown me, let me know this God
for myself
personally.
Exactly.
Everything you're going to be doing shouldn't be my daddy said I will be preaching today, so I should go and study my Bible. Or every day my dad will be asking me, did I study my Bible?
Because
so let me just do it.
Because the time is coming where your parents may not even be interested like now.
At all.
They are interested, but they are not really investing so much because they feel they've given you all. Like there was a time my mom, before she passed, she would always tell us every time we go home and we're coming back, she tell us, don't forget where you're coming from. We've already taught you everything you're meant to know. So as you're going out, don't just live like every other person. Live your life as a pastor's child. Do you understand? So they've already taught you all of these things, and they expect you to go out and practice what you've been taught.
So know God for yourself, as she rightly said. That's my advice. Don't live life to please people. Live life to please God. Before you are a pastor's child, you are God's child.
That's deep.
You are God's child. So make sure everything you'll be doing is pleasing your Father, God, who created you first. Before trying to please people, trying to make them feel happy, or trying to fulfill this pastor's child or something. Sometimes leave that aside and try to fulfill your purpose on earth. That's my advice. Then secondly, prioritize your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Anything that will affect you to the point of affecting your spiritual life, flee from that.
Flee, don't run.
Flee from those things. Make sure you prioritize your like, surround yourself with people that will help you grow. You know, don't do things that will make you to mess up. You understand? Then lastly,
okay, should I don't worry, I'll post this thing.
Surround yourself. Know God for yourself. Surround yourself. Then lastly, why do I keep forgetting this word?
Okay, it's not part of this one. This one I want to say. It's okay to make mistakes.
I remember it. Then lastly, build up immunity for yourself. Like, have self-immunity. Even when people are talking negatively, because people will definitely talk, you know. Even when you're doing the right thing, they will make sure you feel bad. They will criticize everything you do. Don't allow all those things to get to you. Okay? So know God for yourself. Surround yourself with people that will help you grow. Prioritize your well-being, your spiritual, mental, and other aspects, physical well-being. Then surround yourself with, like, have self-immunity. All these will help you. Okay.
All right. So from my own angle, I'm going to be telling you, that pastor's child, that Christian child, that it's okay to make mistakes. Because you're human. You have blood running through your vein. So it's okay to make mistakes. There is no point trying to be perfect, because you cannot be. We all strive towards perfection, but nobody is actually perfect. So there's no point when you get to the house, you don't try to like, when somebody will see you outside and think you're an angel. When they come closer to you, they realize you're not that separate being. You can wear long skirts when you're going out, pretending to be who you're not. It's wrong. You know, when you keep deceiving yourself, this is who I am, when that is not exactly who you are. A time is coming when you lose your self identity. Because yourself will be tired now. Every time I'm claiming to be like truth now instead of being God's time. A time is coming when God's time, the me in me. In philosophy, we call it the meanness in me, the you-ness in you. So the I will get tired. And imagine you living a false life. The time is coming when yourself, your you, the I in you will disappear, and you just be there like an empty vessel. The main thing lies after the mistake. What do you do here? So you get up, dust yourself, and continue. But never ever should you now start, God, what will people say? People will kill me, and so on.
For your mind, please
remove people. Remove people. Because people will always be people. If you like, keep your head down, raise your leg up and walk. People that will not like you will not like you. Alright, so, oh God, it's such a wonderful session. I want to say a very big thank you to 𝗡𝗂𝗿𝗀𝗋 for accepting to do this with me. You know, this is our first episode. Oh my God. So when we blow, we'll come back to this video. Please, take note. Don't forget where we are doing the video. Where are we doing the video now? Don't forget. Okay, so I want to say a very big thank you to you for accepting to do this with me, because without you, I wouldn't have been doing this. Alone.
You're welcome.
So I want to say a very big thank you to you. Thank you so much. And to our viewers, I believe you've learned so much from this session. Like I said, it's not just about being a pastor's child. Whoever you are, whether you're a pastor's child or someone that loves God, your parents might not even be Christians, but then you're this person that's exemplifying Christ. We want you to know that you are human. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to choose what you love, but make sure you showcase Christ. Christ should be at the center of everything. And then to those of you that are so fast and quick in judging, please, we want to tell you that we are humans too. We have blood running through our veins, so we cannot be perfect. Pardon us, it is not our fault. You can make mistakes. We too can make mistakes. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. We believe you've learned something from this episode. See you next Tuesday. Bye bye.